evening, everyone. Welcome to Rotor Talk Live, Season 6, Episode 9, DJI Inspire 3 coming soon. Hope everyone is doing well this evening. Let's head to the chat and welcome everybody tonight. Let's see who all is here. So we got Drone Shots, Matt Bagwell, Irvin Mitchell, Indy Kurt, Trini Weeks, Michael Wright, let's see, Flying Flynn, Richard is here. Dr. Ted, welcome. Art is in the house. Welcome. Drone Views Media is here. Lauren is here. Welcome, Lauren. Hey, kids. I love that. Akarasho. Let's see. Leonard Oglesby. John K is here. Okay, yeah. We got a full house tonight. Our good friend, Mr. Ron Braun. If you watched Drone Nation last night, you know he's on the road. He's headed down to Florida. I don't know if he's made it or not yet. And if you're listening to us, Ron, we wish you safe travels. I'm sucking on a Tums. I got some antacid going on, but just want to let you know that's why I've got something in my mouth. I'm not chewing gum. Okay. All right. Ron's on his way down to Florida. He and Susan are going to be spending a month down. I think around where they stayed last time. And it's not too far from where the meetup's going to be. They really liked it down there, so they're going to be there for a month, escaping the wonderful weather of New Jersey at this time of year. So that's why Ron's not going to be on tonight. Marcus will be joining us. And a little later, most likely, we'll have very special guest Johnnie Alfonso on tonight. Okay, Johnny Drone Flyer. He'll join us as well. So anyway, all right, got all that out of the way here. There's been a lot. First thing I want to start off with, okay, there's been a lot of talk about the KP index and solar winds and everything, okay? When you get into ham radio, and this is my, spiel for ham radio here, okay, you have to understand that the sun has a lot to do with ham radio in terms of what's called propagation. And propagation, trying to explain it real simple, okay? One part of the atmosphere is called the ionosphere, and radio signals will bounce off of that, okay? Now, solar winds, solar flares, all that kind of good thing can really affect that, okay? And, right now, a couple weeks ago, everything was great, but you've probably seen a lot of pictures of Aurora Borealis. Well, that's because of the solar activity that's going on, all right? Well, because of the solar activity that's going on, one of the other things is the bands are not really good. And when I talk about the bands, I'm talking about HF. I mean, you can talk, but all of it depends on where you're at. Some places are really not good at all right now, either daytime or nighttime. Usually some bands are better in the day than they are at night, and that's all based on where the sun is. Well, you have the KP index on the UAV forecast, okay? And a lot of people are like, oh, it's high. I can't fly. You know what? That KP index, it's there for a reason. But when you're seeing 7, 8, 9, don't worry about that, all right? What you really need to be concerned about is it could interfere with satellites, all right? But that's only when it gets super high. And jet airliners are having no problem flying right now. So I would not worry about it. So, don't worry about that right now. But I do want to show you a couple of things here just to kind of get you guys up to speed. And it's probably going to blow your mind a little bit. All right. There's a couple of great channels out there for ham radio guys. I need to present here. Okay. You think after doing this for 6 years, I would know what I'm doing here. All right. Now, this is called Solar Ham, and basically it tells you everything you need to know about the sun and solar weather and how it's going to affect ham radio, okay? One of the big things on this website, it talks about solar flares, how it affects everybody, geomagnetic storms, and you can see there's Aurora Borealis right there, all right? Storm and radio update, and it will talk about that. And here's another one. It's called HF propagation. It is something that we use in ham radio. Okay. I just wanted to make you all guys aware that these tools are out there that can get you a lot of great information. And in fact, you can see right down here, it tells you HF conditions, meaning that's for talking basically short wave or long distance. Okay. It tells you the different meters, poor, you can see poor during the day and fair at night. This is fair at day, fair at night. This is fair in the day, poor at night. And usually you'll see good on there. Okay. And at night, usually they're really good. But because of all the solar activity, that's why you're seeing that. So if anybody's interested in this, email me. I can email you these links. I just wanted to kind of give you a primer out there. I know somebody else put a video out there about this, which is good, but it's nothing to panic about. The time to panic is when your drone's not getting getting GPS or getting satellites. Okay. That's when the solar index is up there. And oh, just as an FYI, okay, just to let you guys know, you know, a lot of people talk about the wind, okay, and it being windy in March, you know, late February, March kind of time frame. A lot of this has to do with solar activity, all right, because wind is basically uneven heating of the Earth's, you know, land, all right, and that's how we get wind, and a lot of that is due to all this going on. But again, I make no claim to fame here in terms of being an expert on this by any stretch of the imagination. I just wanted to make you guys aware of all this, and especially how it relates to flying drones. That KP index, let me put it to you this way. Yeah, John K, I hear you. March is in like a lion and out like a lamb. That's for sure. That's very cool, Art. Very cool. You know, let me be clear, okay? If it's going to cause a problem for us, it's going to cause a problem for airliners as well too. So again, you know, it's very rare when it gets to that point. So, you know, pay attention to it, but you know, there's some other ones you really need to pay attention to. You know, pay attention to your satellites and also the winds aloft and things like that. Anyway, off my soapbox about all of that. Gosh, said a lot right there. Wow. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to go to our first article. Okay, Dr. Ted, I will, you know what? I'm going to drop the links in here for both of those. If I can get my mouse to work. Okay. No, that's not the link that I want to put in there. All right, let's get. All right, here's the first one. Okay, and I'm going to put the second one in here as well. And feel free to share these with other people. Ah, Dr. Ted, I did not know that. Wow, okay. That's awesome. That is absolutely awesome. But there's links to both the sites. You're welcome, Trini. There's links to both the sites there. Some of it's pretty heady stuff. Just be forewarned, okay? I'm not a sun expert by any stretch of the imagination. I'm getting, you know, as I move along in ham radio, I'm getting more and more familiar with the sun and how it affects propagation and talking and distance contacts and so forth. And, you know, stay tuned. Anything I learn that will help us in the drone realm, I'll gladly share it with you guys. So, you know, just want to get that. But if I remember, I'll try to drop that on my Facebook group and page as well too. Okay. All right. Well, you know, Ron leaves New Jersey. Okay. And what are they doing? You know what they're trying to do? They're trying to ban drone flying during peak tourist season. Okay. Wildwood, New Jersey votes whether to regulate drone use during May to October tourist season. Okay. And I don't know where Wildwood is in relation to Margate, where Ron lives, but I mean, if one is going to do this, you know that other ones are going to do this. Okay. The Wildwood Board of Commissioners is set to meet this afternoon to decide upon whether drone pilots must gain authorization to fly the craft within city limits from May to October. If passed, the ordinance would cover the entire 1.665 square miles of the town on the east coast of Cape Bay. The reason for proposed restrictions is simple. Not only does Wildwood's year-round population of 5,111 bloat to 225,000 excuse me, during tourist season, but numbers of drone flown as the weather gets warmer and calmer by both hobbyists and professional operators. It's a problematic mix of too many UAVs in the skies above too many visitors whose safety leaders of Wildwood don't want to have to worry about any longer. Okay. If approved, the new rule will require anyone wanting to pilot a drone above Wildwood for work or pleasure to get permission from police during the restricted period. New Jersey law stipulates UAV operation is permitted, but may be conditioned by federal regulations and flight controls put into place by local governments. At least 8 municipalities or counties in the state have passed limits on drone use similar to the ordinance Wildwood is looking to approve. Local officials say their objective isn't to rid Wildwood skies of drones but rather regulate who's operating by gauging their reasons for doing so, thereby ensuring, okay, just basically with this and what they're saying here, and I don't see this as being a bad thing at all, okay, because this is you're registering with the police, you're going to be flying your drone there, everything. I think this is I think it's very appropriate, okay, because if something happens, they have somewhere to go back to, they have someone to go to and say, look, you were flying your drone over this spot and we had an accident here or something, So I think this is a good thing. And so we're just trying to formalize just who is flying drones and when they're flying drones so the public safety is aware of it and can monitor it as need be. Given the precedent of other municipal constraints on drone use in the states, unlikely Wildwood's ordinance risks being overturned by legal opposition, though it's happened elsewhere. Federal court threw out a Texas law restricting UAV use, especially reporting news, as unconstitutional. That judgment, however, is based on First Amendment rights related to freedom of the press. Okay, so that's a completely separate thing. So, hey, Mark, welcome. Glad you're here. So, with something like this, I think it's a good thing, but just stand by. And here's the thing with this, and maybe I'll get on my soapbox here for a minute. All right. I know 99.99% of the people that watch this channel and all you guys out there, all right, this doesn't apply. I mean, you obey the rules. You fly within the law. You fly within your Part 107 or your hobbyist certifications, all right? And you all do it well. Do it very well. And I know, Lauren up in Canada, he does it well too. I mean, follows everything by the book, okay? That's that 1/10 of 1% that comes in and screws it up for everybody else. So, I think this is a good thing. Hopefully it will curb any bad actors from trying to do some things and cause some issues. So we'll see about that. But again, I think this is a good thing. Stay tuned. Let's see how this works out. I hope they revisit this and how things go in Wildwood later this year. Maybe Ron can kind of give us a heads up when he gets back home after a month and sees what's going on up there. So just kind of like wanted to do that. So we'll see. All right. Moving on. Got another article here. All right. Let's see here. Okay. All right. Well, DJI has gone ahead. And remember, all the articles that you see here, they're on Build a Drone Reviewer Facebook group and page, okay? LightCut is the video editing app officially recommended by DJI. Remember, boom to boom, okay? All right. Okay, that's a good thing, I guess. So if you're looking for video editing app for your DJI drone, here's one the tech giant officially recommends for its products, such as Mini 3 Pro and Osmo Mobile series, LightCut. Mavic 3, Mini 3 drone, Osmo Action 3 and 2, Osmo Mobile 6, and Osmo Mobile SE's Pocket 2. LightCut aims to make video editing seamless for beginners and allows professional users to get content ready for social media sharing in a jiffy. One of the biggest draws of LightCut is its smooth device to app connection and allows for easy and quick real-time preview of footage. You don't need to export any footage, which saves storage space. Simply select the shots you want to use, and the app's one-tap editing feature will convert them to cinematic, shareable short video. Okay, LightCut is designed to recognize many of the common scenarios in which DJI devices are used. The app's AI algorithms can intelligently analyze the footage, identify themes such as aerial, outdoor cycling, diving, skiing, traveling, parties, food, and daily life. Okay, and vertical video templates. App also suggests music, filters, effects, and even stickers. For the Mavic 3, the video editing app packs in special templates compatible with master shots. For Osmo mobile users, LightCut doubles up as an inspiration library. The app's Inspire Cam feature provides a step-by-step shooting guide for a wide variety of scenarios you can follow to make your own masterpieces. After filming, use the one-tap editing functions and generate a 4K HD video to share on social media. It's available for both iOS and Android. Okay, all right. Well, for me, folks, okay, this is great if you really want to get something out there in a hurry, quick and dirty. You're out in the field and you just had just a killer video and you want to get it out there, and you're not going to be home for a while. You're not going to have access to your laptop. So you go out there and you use something like this. And this is great. Okay. For me, okay, I'm doing mine on my desktop or my laptop. All right. And, I use DaVinci Resolve, and I have been extremely pleased. I've been using DaVinci Resolve been since 2017. So it's been 6 years. I'd say I was using Adobe, just their basic suite for about a year and a half. So it's been about 5 years I've been using DaVinci Resolve, and I'm just really, really, really pleased with that. JJ Bird, welcome. Glad you're here tonight. 107 Drones. I don't know if I welcomed you or not. Glad you're here too. Okay. So again, this is good if you're going out there and you're doing this and you want to get something out to YouTube that you just can't wait. You think everybody needs to get out and needs to see this video because it is incredible. Do it. Use it. Let me know how it is. If any of you guys have had experience with this, drop a note down in the comments, email me, post something out there on Facebook, on the group. Let me know how it is. Because if this is something that's good, I probably am not going to use this, because for me, all my content that I do, I come back to the house. Okay. It's on my SD cards. It's yeah. So for me, that's how I'm going to do that. But for a lot of people, like I said, that want to get their content out there to YouTube right away or other social media right away, go for it. Okay. Use it, but give me a holler. Let me know what you guys think of it. I'm just, like I said, I'm probably not going to be one who's going to use that. You won't be seeing me do that. So, okay. All right. Let's go to the next. All right. How many of you guys heard of ALOFT? Okay. In the chat. You guys know what ALOFT is, right? Okay. Software. Well, like I said, you would think I would get to know where things are after so long. Okay. ALOFT adds nighttime FAA LAANC request for leisure drone pilots. This is big. This is pretty big news here. All right. ALOFT has updated its flight app to support requests by recreation pilots for nighttime flying in controlled airspaces for the low altitude authorization notification capability, LAANC. Okay. ALOFT said its mobile app and web platform began offering the option today, following the FAA agreeing to extend the program beyond Part 107. But before leisure pilots can start planning they'll have to put a bit of work to gain approval. ALOFT notes that recreational users have to comply with the same nighttime flight rules as professional operators, including completion of recreational UAS safety test. Okay. They also need to know and adopt safety guidelines of an FAA-recognized community-based organization. Other requirements and links to related resources are available on the ALOFT mobile app and web platform. FAA extension of night LAANC operation capabilities to non-professional pilots is vital to keeping recreational users involved in the program. At the moment, ALOFT CEO said the numbers of private pilots applying for LAANC flights continue to decline. ALOFT powers the vast majority of commercial and recreational LAANC. We continue to work with the FAA, propose new capabilities to increase LAANC usage, utility, and effectiveness. Okay. ALOFT apps are used in the vast majority of LAANC requests to the FAA by drone pilots. The company also has been a major partner in developing the regulators before you fly application, informing users where they can and cannot fly. Okay, that a lot of stuff there. All right, but basically, if you're a recreational drone pilot and you want to be able to fly at night, ALOFT is your ticket to be able to do that, to get your permissions. Now I definitely read this article to get familiar. You got to be involved with a community-based organization, and I know we went over that a few weeks ago. I know Ron and Marcus had, I think Greg from the Pilot Institute and another gentleman, and they went over that as well. So go back and look at those episodes, either Rotor Talk or Drone Nation, and go over where we talked about community-based organizations and how this applies right here. I think this is key. This is really good that you'll be able to go out and fly at night. I think this is absolutely fantastic. I mean, seriously. All right. Shameless plug time. All right, guys, it is February 28th. Tomorrow's March 1st. All right. 1 month. What's happening? Captain Ray, what's happening in 1 month, April 1st? Brrr, boom. Captain Ray, come on. What's happening on April the 1st, guys? Well, okay. Anyway, all right. The South Florida Drone Meetup. Yes, thank you, Captain Ray. All right. South Florida Drone Meetup, April the 1st. If you need information, if you're still interested in wanting to go, there is a Facebook group. It's called South Florida Drone Meetup, okay? Or get a hold of Captain Ray. He can get you set up and hooked up with all that. I believe he said there's over 100 people going to the South Florida Drone Meetup. Yes, Michael. April Fool's Day. Yeah, there we go. No, that was my first wedding. No, April Fool's. Never mind. I'm not going there. That was wrong. Okay. But if you need information on that, ping Captain Ray or go out to the South Florida Drone Meetup group page. There's all kind of information about the hotel, where everything is, all the times. Okay. It's going to be good. It's going to be a good time. So again, it's coming up. It's in a month. It's 4 weeks. It's the third one. We had a great time last year. I can tell you that. It wasn't that far for us. It was about a little over 3 hours from where we live, and it was great. We had a great time. It was great seeing all of you. And I think, Ray, I think I heard last night you got a DJI Mini 2 donated to you, a brand new one, to give away at the meetup. Am I right? Okay. I think so. So that's awesome. That is Mini 2 a bundle raffle. Absolutely awesome, Ray. That's fantastic. So gonna have a lot of fun. And and if you have anything that you can donate to Ray, drop him a line as well too. I'm sure he would be happy to have that as a prize, for people, because it's so much fun going to these, and and it's not about, and I'm going to say this, it's not about the flying. Okay. It's about hanging out with everybody and talking to everybody. That's what I really enjoyed the most of. So hope everyone that needs information, see Ray or go out to the South Florida Drone Meetup site. Okay. Or site group page on Facebook. All right. I'll see if I can drop a link in here. And if somebody, if somebody who has a wrench, if you're a moderator, if you got the link, Facebook link for that, if you could drop it in the chat, that would be awesome. All right. And don't forget to do that. Okay. Also have an Autel Nano Plus combo and an Autel Evo V23 with smart controller from Ken Dono and DroneWorks. Okay. Wow. There's a lot of stuff there, guys. You cannot miss that. Original Dobo, okay, coming through, and he's going to be there. What else I know? I think I heard Kelly Shores is going to be there. Okay, well, Ron's going to be there. I mean, he would be worth going. Just be worth going to see Ron, and I know Michael Wright's going to be there. All right, and Maddie's going to be there. So, guys, just do yourself a favor, okay? It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to give these shameless plugs up until everybody coming in. So, here's Johnny. How are you, sir?
Hey, doing great. How you doing?
Putting in some shameless plugs for the South Florida Drone Meetup.
Man, I tell you, this thing has, man, Bill, this thing has taken off. I mean, Captain Ray, and, this is the third year. And I think Maddie, the first year, I don't know, remember Maddie, I think he's saying it's going to be, I don't know, they was thinking between 25 and 50 people. And then last year was over 100. And I think Maddie said this year going to be at 150. And I think he's going to be right. I think Ray's got about 110 names or so on the list. And
wow,
man, it's just, and the prizes that we have, I mean, he's done a great job of.
Yeah, I just saw that Original Dobos from DroneWorks is getting an Evo 2. I'm like, wow, this is fantastic. I mean,
yeah, with the controller too, and then got a Nano Plus from Al Diaz, and we got a Mini 2. Marcus got a couple Holy Stone drones, I believe. So. We got a lot of stuff. I'll tell you what, somebody's going to walk away with a lot of great prizes. Not just, we got all kind of things. It's going to be fun.
It is. And I got to say this, Johnny, and I'm preaching to the choir when I'm telling you this. Okay. But I don't think there is any more enthusiastic person in the drone community than Captain Ray. Okay. No one can match it. And I'm talking everybody, okay? Everybody. His enthusiasm about drones is infectious. It's like you can't. It's like you catch that enthusiasm every time you're around him. Hey, Marcus.
This is gonna cost me money, I think.
Yeah. Oh, well. Doing a little advertising. Yeah.
I got Maddie's. Hey,
there you go. Well, Drone Nation.
Drone Nation. There you go.
Well, as I explained earlier, Ron is on a very special assignment on his way down to Florida, and I think, I could be wrong, but I heard he's going to be scouting out Captain Ray's secret spots and putting them on videos, so we'll all geolocate them, so we'll all know where they're at. So, but I wasn't supposed to say anything about that, so I don't.
Oh, that's one more secret out. That's okay. Marcus is going early just to get in on those secret spots. I just gotta say. So
that's the whole that's the big deal about that. But no, Ron's on his way down to Florida right now. Just want to let everybody know again. It popped in. That's why he's not here tonight. He and Susan are going down there for a month. Escape that wonderful New Jersey weather this time of year. Okay. And they're going to enjoy themselves, and they're not too far. If I'm mistaken, they're not too far from where the meetup's going to be. So, so they're looking forward to it. They had a great time there last year, so we're all looking forward to this coming up, and it's a month away. I mean, it's just like, we were talking about it like 3 or 4 months ago, like, it's April, that's a ways away. Here we are, we're a month out. I mean, it's like, boom, it's right around the corner right now. I mean,
it's here.
It's here. One of the things I'd like to kind of talk about tonight is the Inspire 3. Now, there's been a lot of stuff come out about it, and and I did watch Drone Nation last night, and I know Lawrence is, Lawrence bellwether is when you see a lot of stuff coming out about it, it's going to come out soon. All right, and there's been a lot of these renderings that have come out. Listen,
Bill, I'm sure Johnny's got one already. He's been testing.
Oh, I know.
He's one of the testers. Yeah,
he's one of those testers, and he has to keep quiet about it. So
I don't even have the Mavic 3 yet.
He doesn't even have the Mavic 3. So that's what he says. That's what he said.
Yeah.
But you can take a look and see. It's a little. It's very streamlined. It's bigger than the Inspire 2. Again, if it holds true, if you order the basic platform like you did with the Inspire 2, it comes without a camera. Okay, all right. You have to order that separately because there's different options for that camera. All right, and I'm sure. And Lauren brought up a good point last night. Okay, the systems on the Inspire 2 are pretty old. Okay, because it's not even OcuSync; it's still Lightbridge. Okay. And Lightbridge does not have that kind of range that you have even with the first iteration of OcuSync, okay? But it's still an incredible aerial platform. And like you got like the talk was last night, and I agree with this. You're going to see a lot of Inspire 2s go on sale whenever the Inspire 3 hits. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah. They'll be out there if you want to get them. Now, it's not easy to fly these, okay? And I know people, and I've been around people who have flown them, and it takes a lot of work and a lot of effort, and it's not like flying a Mavic 3 or a Mini 3 Pro or an Air 2S, all right? There's a lot to this, and you gotta have a great understanding of the app, know where things are. There's different firmware updates for different parts of the drone. It's just a whole new beast. But anyway, all right. I digress because I'm talking about the Inspire 2. Okay. And there's a little clip, and you can see there's the camera right there. I'm not going to play it because I don't want to get dinged from YouTube. And here's some other pictures of it out in the wild. You can tell physically it looks bigger than an Inspire 2. And I have a tendency to agree from everything that I've read, and I know what Lauren was saying last night was and I agree, it's probably going to be end of March, beginning of April is when we'll see this. And that's coincidentally what else is going to be happening at the end of March, guys?
Well, just about the time we're getting ready for the meetup.
Well, for the Mini 2 SE, March 22nd. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. Everybody is just jumping at the bit to get that. I know the excitement is just building, and people's fingers are on that buy button. But that is
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I think again, and we've talked about it before. In that Mini 3 or the Mini 2 SE, I thought they were going to come out with a Mini 3, and I was just that was my first inclination when I heard Mini 2 SE. Why isn't it a 3? All right, but then DJI in its ways is doing this, and so be it. And more power to them, and more power to people that want to buy this because you guys have seen the refurbished Mini 2s. And it just did a fantastic price. I mean, it's not that far off from this. So, the whole thing is a puzzle to me. What do you guys think?
Well, the Costco deal, 300, they just came out with 300. Is it 369 or 379 2 batteries.
I think Ray got it. Yeah, I think Ray got it for $369, I believe it was.
Yeah, and it's available online as well. So
yeah, he did because they didn't have it, so he had to order it. Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
not like another company that had a drone advertised, right, Marcus?
That's a fact. That's a fact. GameStop. Did you stop by your GameStop, Mr. Johnny?
I did not, but I called, and the person who answered the phone said they've never had drones. So I mean, that's
there you go.
Yeah,
at this particular store here.
Yeah, that's that's one of those things, and I've heard about that, and it's just they want you to come into the store. That's the whole thing. And but we have the latest in games and latest in PlayStations and Xboxes and all this, and then boom, it's just not there. It's just not there. With this Inspire 3, pricing, and I know Lauren said last week when we talked about it that I'm going to be surprised at the price of it, and I think he's right. I don't think it's going to be a quantum leap up from the Inspire 2 because the base package for the Inspire 2 is right around, I think with a camera, okay, with the base camera is about $5,000, okay. So, I don't really see a base package being it's not going to go over 10,000, all right, but the real kicker is going to be that that camera and lens setup is probably going to be cost as much of or even more than the drone. Really is where that's at. That's what I'm thinking. But this is all to be decided. It's coming out, and we're going to see this here in just coming up in about 3-4 weeks. It'll be out. But again, for any of us, it's not a practical solution. All right. This is going to be more geared toward, I won't even call it prosumer. It's more professional. It's for filmmakers, or those who maybe want to be shooting real estate or other things like that, because it's just not, it's just not going to be where, it's not going to be useful to people like us. Okay. Recreational, hobbyist, part 107, that kind of thing. Although I got to say this, you get some incredible shots of like the Snake River Canyon with that. There would be no doubt about that. Or me going down to the Skyway Bridge, getting some incredible shots with that. But then again, the cost justification for something like that.
Well, you need my Chevy Tahoe to haul it around too.
Yeah, exactly, Marcus. You're gonna need a big vehicle to haul this around in. I mean, I saw. You guys probably remember the old Matrice 600. It's the one that had all the arms going out. All right. You had to take that in the bed of a pickup truck because those arms were so long. All right. You couldn't even fit it in an SUV. It was so big. And I think the same thing is here with this too, with the Inspire 3. I think it's going to be the same kind of deal. So, I mean, that's my thoughts. What are you guys' thoughts on this?
A drone like that is just. Go ahead, Johnny.
No, I just kind of agree with what Lauren said last night. I think it'd be a great drone to watch somebody else fly it and that, but for us, it's just not needed. But yeah, it's people been waiting for it, and it's coming. It's here pretty soon.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. It's so far over my skill level and over my head. It's a filmmaker's product. It's not anything for a hobbyist like me. So yeah, I'm with Johnny. It would be fun if I saw one out in the field and saw somebody flying it. I'd love to see it. And if they'd let me take the sticks for a second and fly it around, yeah, that'd be cool. But other than that,
yeah, I'm exactly the same way as you guys. And it's also, it's kind of the same questions we were asking when the M30 and the M30T came out. Okay. Are these kind of drones, number one, they call these enterprise drones for a reason. All right. Enterprise is meaning, the commercial end of things. Okay. The M30, the M30T are basically designed for either businesses or first responders. It would be extremely useful for either of those organizations. You're doing line inspections, you're doing, pipe inspections at a chemical plant. You're doing search and rescue. You're looking for people supposedly trapped in a building in a fire, using that thermal imaging. Okay. There's a whole host of things that, the M30 and the M30T can be used for. Okay. Not to say that you couldn't use, say, like an M30 to get some great cinematic shots. Okay. You could, but that's not what its design and purpose is. Okay. Its design and purpose is for enterprise use and, doing these line inspections, doing these, pipeline inspections, things like that. And people always get the misnomer, and it was really interesting. Remember when the Mavic 2 Enterprise came out, okay, and everybody was just all excited about it and everything. And I had several guys say, "How can I buy one, Bill? I want to buy one." I'm like, okay. I said, well, at first, DJI was not selling them to private individuals. I remember that when the Mavic 2 Enterprise series was coming out, because you had to be show proof of you're with a first responder type of organization to be able to get something like this, or a business. Okay, your own business. And I'm just not talking about Build a Drone Reviewer Inc. Okay, I'm talking about corporations. And a lot of these people were like, "Well, I'm going to get one. I'm going to get one." And I'm like, "Well, good luck and have a big time." I know DJI's kind of relaxed the rules on this a little bit, probably not much, because of the fact, these are things that, you want these to go to the right organizations and to the right people. And you don't want to get stuck, not being able to have them to sell to first responders or to companies that need these products. That's where that ends up.
I see Lauren made a comment there about the M30. It will not work well for cinema. Actually tested it. Okay,
that's a good. Thank you, Lauren. That's a great point. You're right. And see, Lauren, thank you for posting that, because a lot of people get the idea and get the notion. Oh, it's waterproof. It has all these features. I can take it out in the rain and get some great shots and all this kind of stuff. And people get the idea and the notion that you can use it because it has a camera and video capabilities, but that's not what it's designed for. Okay. And I've been trying to drill that into people's heads ever since the Mavic 2 Enterprise series came out. That is designed for first responders and for corporations. That's not designed for private individual use. Mavic 3, that's a whole nother ball game. Okay. That's up our alley. Okay. That's something that the three of us can use all day long and get great cinematic shots, go out to the Snake River Canyon, go down the Skyway Bridge, just get some fantastic video and aerial photography. All right. That's the drones that we're geared towards. Okay. So, this talk about
one thing, Bill,
go ahead.
I'll say one thing about those drones that will maybe trickle down to the, consumer type drones, I think will be the thermal. I think that's going to be, kind of the next, I think a lot of people kind of want the thermal. So,
for what?
But, well, I think some of the smaller type departments maybe, can get something that's not like the Inspire, but, maybe in a different type drone. I know like the Max, doesn't the new Autel Max have a thermal version too?
It does. But that's, so that's about what, $7,000 or so. So yeah, I mean, wouldn't that be kind of what you're talking about?
I guess it's about same price, I guess, and that's the price range.
Yeah, the whole thing, and I know Marcus knows I've said this before, and I think you probably heard it as well too, Johnny. And you bring up a good point. A lot of this technology, okay, and I've heard somebody say it years ago. DJI does not waste technology. Okay, so what you see in their top tier drones, we'll talk about the M30, the M30T, the Inspire 3. Okay, it's going to trickle down to the consumer level drones in some way, shape, or form. And it will be one of those things that Marcus says, It's one of those features we didn't know we wanted until we saw it. Okay. And that's what DJI is so famous for, is putting things out there we didn't know we wanted till we saw it and said, you know what, we got to have that on that drone. Okay. And, you know, it's almost always a software type of feature, not a hardware type of feature.
Right.
You know, because it's easy for them to do that. I mean, you know, tweaking that software is, you know, you have infinite possibilities that you can do with these drones after you release them.
Yeah, you know, we had a conversation last time Billy Kyle was on Rotor Talk or on Drone Nation about the Mavic 3, and you know, it's going to be around for a while because what can they do to improve it over what you already have? Okay, what are you going to put an 8K camera on it? No, nobody. Heck, most of us, a lot of people are barely ready for 4K. Let alone 8K. And, you know, I mean, you could do some incremental things, maybe improve flight time, that sort of stuff. Although, you know, Johnny and I have talked many times, 40 minutes is plenty of time to have a drone up in the air. You're ready to land it by the time you've had one been up in the air.
Yeah.
So I think there's going to be a lot of longevity to the Mavic 3. I think we're going to see it around for several years before they come up with something to top it. You know, so far they've been really good about giving us some incremental changes in the firmware that have added features and so forth. If they keep doing that, that's a drone that's going to have legs, and I think we'll see around for a while.
That's a great point, Marcus, because I know Billy is actually, and I saw him talk about this, that, you know, have we reached a saturation point in terms of, you know, technology? And Ron addressed this a couple of weeks ago when he said, you know, another new phone comes out, okay? You know, it's like, okay, the S23 versus the S22, the iPhone 14 versus the 13. You know, where, you know, maybe another lens on the camera, maybe, you know, something or other, but they're really not these huge, gigantic jumps and leaps in technology, you know, that we're seeing. I mean, from where I'm coming from, where I was, you know, coming from like the Spark, and then, you know, progressing upwards to where we're at now, because the Spark was my first DJI drone, you know, and then moving up the chain here. You know, it's interesting to see how things have progressed, and, you know, you can still squeeze more battery life out of those cells. You can probably add some more, but you're getting at a point where, you know, your technology is it outstripping what we can use things for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, you know, DJI will be the ones that will be the company that shows us the way, that'll show us the feature that, you know, we're all thinking, wow, we just have to have. And is that some kind of automated feature or something like that? Could they improve tracking and so forth? Possibly. It's really good now, but it's not quite up to Skydio. So could they do Skydio one better? Possibly. You know, it's so hard to even predict right now. And until you're talking about like those commercial and enterprise products, hey, I understand that they're adding even better thermal on those thermal, their resolution is getting better. And if you're a fireman or police or something like that, that's really important to you. Us as consumers, not so much. That Inspire, I can appreciate it. Bill, you just went through all those specs. I think it's cool. I can appreciate it, but it doesn't really affect me.
Yeah. Well, Lauren really brought up a great comment right here. DJI shot themselves in the foot by releasing so many drones in 2022.
Yeah.
And you know, you get to a point from a marketing standpoint, and Lauren makes a really good point here. Okay. You know, you glut the market with drones. All right. Well, you're going to have a lull, and you're going to have a point where people are going to say, well, you know, I don't need to be getting a new drone. You know, I already have like the Mavic 3. You know, the Air 2S is doing me well. That Mini 3 Pro is doing great. there's nothing I really need right now. And it's a real, they've done themselves a disservice. All right. Because when you start to glut the market like that, you're gonna have some pain with that. And part of that pain is going to be, you're not going to get those sales.
Chris Hope made a good point. A couple of his comments up that he says his Phantom 4 will do, a lot of the things that the new ones do. And you know what? He's right. Yeah, is it bigger or whatever? But, if you're looking at the footage,
Well, I think Lauren makes a great point. But, we as consumers, especially, we all have, I'm looking at 6 drones right here. But, for those people who we made fun of a little mini 2S5, 4. Oh. But no, the Mini 2 SE, I know we've been ditching it a little bit, but listen, it's gonna excite a kid, it's gonna excite a new flyer, and that's what the hobby's about. And they may not know that they had the original Mini, they may not know that they had the SE version. So people coming into the hobby new, they're gonna jump on that new drone, and hey, it'll be fine. And maybe they did use some old parts and pieces, but hey, they just like, they're different versions of cars. Lexus has a lower version, and Infiniti, and all that kind of stuff. So hey, they in a business to sell drones.
Yeah, that's that there's a fine line between putting too many out but putting the right ones out. All right, and Johnny makes a good point, especially like with the Mini 2 SE. It may catch some 14-year-old's eye, and it might be the right kind of drone for them. All right. And DJI's found a fan. And, it's like when you get hooked by DJI, it's one of those things, you just can't have one. You got to continue. And I think, both of you can attest to that fact. It's like, when I got my original Mavic Pro and I got the Spark, and, and it started progressing up the line, each iteration was getting better. I was getting better technology. And the thing that pleased me was I was able to sell them for a great price. I mean, I thought I got a good return, because that in turn goes out and that funds that new drone that I'm going out to get.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
It's a good, it's a good way. And, for people who are looking to save a little bit of money, getting those used drones from good people like us who sell them, they're getting a good drone, especially like for me, I take great, and I know you guys do too, take great care of your drones. So when you resell them, they're not pieces of junk that are going out there. These are good quality products that you're going to get.
No.
Marcus is going to the.
Yeah. Barkley makes a great point there. Barkley makes a great point. He remembers when a big screen TV was $10,000. Remember that first picture? Was that which one they was hanging on? Sony? I think they were hanging on the wall. That, so hey, you can go in a Sam's or Best Buy and get a $80 TV to whatever. There it is.
I'll say this one, Bill. I took good care of it. That's just a little crack there. Is that going to hurt anything?
That hit the grant. That hit.
That top arm, yeah. Hey, she still flies.
Hey, that's what counts.
Yeah. I see line. Michael Wright. Maybe Michael will get that Inspire. Maybe he'll bring it to second.
I'm sorry.
Well, it's exciting. We all look, and one of the things that I like to do is I like to, and Johnny brought up a good point about the technology, the trickle down of the technology. It's always exciting when DJI is coming out with like a new drone that I say that I want to see it in action. I want to see what it does. I want to see what the Inspire 3 does. I want to see what it's like, because there'll be plenty of tutorial videos. There'll be plenty of hands-on videos, and to be able to see what it's like, and to kind of live vicariously through that, and to see how people, operate them and function with them. And I think, again, that's going to trickle on down eventually to us in the consumer space. So it's always exciting. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I get a lot of excitement out of that. Johnny, you have any closing thoughts for tonight?
No, hey, just thanks for having me on. And hey, like we talked about a little bit last night, the weather's, well, in some parts of the country, it was 86 degrees here today. And I know Ron said it was going to be hot in Florida, but hey, get out there and fly and, have some fun this weekend. Take your drones out and hey, get to flying. It's flying season here pretty soon.
Marcus.
Man, Johnny, that pretty soon can't come soon enough. It was a cold, gloomy day in Idaho today. And as much as I wanted to get out and fly a drone, it just wasn't worth it. It was cold and windy. And yeah, in fact, just before the show, I was talking to Lauren and he was telling the same thing about Calgary. He goes, man, I got snow on the ground. He goes, it's depressing. I'm going, yeah, I hear you. It's that time of year. We all want to get out. We want a little sunshine. We want to get out and fly. And then, of course, Johnny, you got it in spades in the mid 80s. So
yeah, it's I think Baton Rouge, we didn't hear, but Baton Rouge set yesterday set a new high. So, but hey, our weather's always, look, we might be running a heater next Monday the way this weather is, but
you're gonna have to go to Italy to cool off.
Well, actually, it's pretty cool over there. Yes, you're right. I was looking at that for the next 10 days. But yeah, get out there and fly, have some fun.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, I want to wish Johnny safe travels on your trip to Italy. Hope you have a good time there. I've never been there. I always have, it's one of those places I'd always love to go. I know I had several friends of mine have gone there and have absolutely loved it. So enjoy yourself. And I know you probably can't take a drone over there because of cruise lines, because I know a lot of them are pretty strict about that.
Yeah, can't do that. But hey, I'm gonna have fun. I got the pocket, I got the Action 2, I got the phone. I'm bringing all kind of cameras. So good.
Will be a lot of good film. Well, we're talking about weather. Poor folks out in California getting snow. Okay, that's just okay. I'm like shaking my head. I have actually seen pictures in 1978 here in Tampa. They actually had snow down here. All right, that's the last time it's really had any kind of significant amount. But it's so funny to see those pictures. It really is.
I've been in Las Vegas when there's snow covering the palm trees.
Yeah, it's just I just kind of like shake my head when I see that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, wishing you safe travels, Johnny, and that you have a good time. And almost congratulations on your house, because I know it's almost done.
Getting close.
That's always an exciting time. I know that myself, having done that multiple times.
I hope when I get back from Italy, we'll kind of maybe move in between that week of me being home and leaving again for the South Florida drone meetup. If not, I'll move in right after I come back from South Florida.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I echo what these guys say. If you have good weather, get out there and fly and enjoy yourself. I know we've had the weather has been nice. It was in the mid 80s like it was for Johnny today. However, and I led the show off and I talked about the solar index and solar indices, and I apply it from my knowledge of ham radio and propagation and helping to get that signal skip and getting good conditions. The conditions have been extremely poor because of all the solar activity. Well, part of the solar wind, it affects our wind as well too. And that's one of the things that's what today for us, we had horrible wind. It was like 35, 40 miles an hour today. Nice temperatures, but you couldn't get out and fly. So it's like one of those things. So, it'll get better as the month goes along.
Oh, wow.
March has always typically been a very windy month for us here in Florida. But anyway, all right, guys, thanks so much for stopping by tonight. Again, South Florida Drone Meetup is coming on April 1st. It'll be here before you know it. Take care and make sure it's a great day to fly. See you guys later.
Bye, everybody.